we were talking about single sideband suppressed carrier modulation. And in single sideband suppressed carrier modulation, I told you, unlike the earlier two methods, that is DSB FC and double sideband SC suppressed carrier, where we used to discuss about the time domain analysis of the signal first, and then we would go to draw the spectrum, frequency domain analysis. Here we are doing frequency domain analysis first. Okay, and in order to do the frequency domain analysis, we consider the first method of SSB-SC generation, which is also known as the frequency discrimination method of SSB-SC generation. So this is called the frequency discrimination method of SSB-SC generation. And here we used to use a simple multiplier or product modulator, wherein we would feed the message signal and the cosine carrier, and the output whatever we get, we know it would be the DSB-SC signal, double sideband suppressed carrier signal. Okay, message into carrier. Now from that double sideband suppressed carrier signal, we will use a band pass filter and we'll try to filter out one sideband. Okay, using a band pass filter, we would filter out one sideband. So this was how we discussed it should be. So this was the spectrum of the message signal, this triangular spectrum, we are familiar. The carrier looks like this, two impulses, one at plus Fc, one at minus Fc. It's simple cosine signal, okay? Delta F minus Fc, delta F plus Fc. Then message into carrier will give us the message spectrums shifted to the points Fc and minus Fc, as you can see. And after this, we should apply the band pass filter. An ideal band pass filter is rectangular in shape. And if you apply that, you should be able to filter out one sideband. But please remember, that is an ideal filter, and with an ideal filter, the roll-off rate is infinity. Only then you will get this straight line drops like this. Constant bandwidth here, constant amplitude, and sudden drops from maximum to minimum is possible only at infinite roll-off rate, which is not possible in any practical system. So practically when we design any system, you can't get a sudden fall from maximum to minimum like this in a filter. So what you will get will look something more like this, the second waveform. The graph will look something similar to this. So what happens now? If I use a band pass filter which is non-ideal, something like this, I would be filtering a part of the unwanted sideband along with the required sideband. So along with the required sideband, a portion of the unwanted sideband will also be filtered out, which I don't need. I need just one sideband like this, either upper sideband or lower sideband. You just need one of the sidebands, but you're going to filter out using non-ideal filters. You'll filter out something like this. Your waveform may look, instead of this one sideband, your waveform may look something like this. A portion of the unwanted sideband, and with the required sideband, I'm going to miss out something, or along with this portion of other unwanted sideband. So I don't want this to happen. So what we decided, we said we have to use what? We have to use signals. The message signals which we use should have a gap in the spectrum when compared to 0, nearing 0. I should use such message signals which do not have low frequency content, or they have a gap in the spectrum starting from 0. That's what we are seeing here. So there is a visible gap in the spectrum starting from 0. We don't have frequency components of the message. So some frequency components will be missing. Okay, we start off after certain frequency components and end somewhere else. The best example for this kind of message signal is your voice signal. The human voice signal exists between 300 Hz to 3.4 kHz. That is the range of human voice signal. So we can make use of human voice signal for the special type of message which we need used to generate SSB-SC. So we want a separation or a gap in the spectrum so that the non-ideal filter can extract only one sideband correctly. Is that clear? We want this non-ideal filter. The filter will look something like this. We want this filter to take out just one sideband. That is possible if there is a gap between the two sidebands, and that gap is provided by using message signals which don't have low frequency content like the voice signal. So we considered this voice signal as the message. We applied it to the product modulator. The other input was the locally generated carrier AC cos 2 pi FCT, and the output of this product modulator was the double sideband suppressed carrier signal B1 of T. We have to see how this B1 of T looks now. See, this is the message spectrum, the original message spectrum. There is a small gap in the center near 0. So from 300 to 3.4K, I have the message. Now the carrier is at high frequency, say 10 megahertz, whatever, 10 kilohertz, anything. And after that, this message spectrum shifts somewhere around this carrier frequency. So I'll have this 0 coming to the point FC, whatever is FC, for example, 10 mega, and 300 will be 10 mega plus 300 hertz. So this point, the beginning of the upper sideband will shift to 10.0003 mega, and the other end of this upper sideband will be FC plus Fmax. Fmax is 3.4K. So that will be 10 mega plus 3.4K, 10.0034 mega. 10.0034 mega it would be. Similarly, the other end, the LSB would range from FC minus Fmin to FC minus Fmax. And now we noticed, in the last class we were ending it here, we noticed that the gap in the two sidebands created is something around 600 kilohertz. We have a gap of 600 kilohertz created in the two sidebands. So now can I design a filter so that it will filter out one sideband? Yes, that filter design is possible provided the gap which we have between the two sidebands divided by the carrier frequency is greater than or equal to this number 0.01. This is what I have to explain, and I had stopped. All of you please note down here. After this you say, note, please write down, note, a band pass filter that can reject the unwanted sideband, with an attenuation of at least 40 decibels, with an attenuation of at least 40 decibels, can be designed if the gap between the two sidebands represented as 2 alpha divided by FC is greater than or equal to 0.01 is greater than or equal to 0.01. Please remember this condition. So only then I'll be able to design for a band pass filter. So I was telling you what would be the problem that would occur in this case. Though in the drawing what we have drawn, the two sidebands look well separated, you will see this kind of separation if the carrier frequency is small. Okay, if the carrier frequency what we are using is quite small, if this carrier frequency will be in the range of few kilohertz, then it is possible for us to see this separation and design the filter. It would be possible. But what happens when the carrier frequency is large? I was showing you that here. If the carrier frequency is as large as 10 megahertz or so, how much is 600 hertz in comparison to 10 mega? It will be something around 0.0006 mega, which is very, very small. You hardly notice the gap between the two sidebands. It is like as though they are attached, a very small gap. So imagine the filter which I should design. The filter should again, it should take in only this part. It should be almost ideal. It should not, it should fall off suddenly like this, the filter. I can't have a filter which will be like this because it will take out the other sideband. That's why they have told for best filter design, okay? For best filter design, the ideal condition is that you should have twice this gap. Actually, the gap from here to here is alpha and from here to here is also alpha. That's why it is 2 alpha. Okay. So one side gap is considered as alpha. The other side is also alpha. So the total gap is 2 times alpha divided by this carrier frequency should be greater than or equal to 0.01. So can you tell me for voice signals, how much would the carrier, what would be the maximum carrier frequency then? Therefore, you say, can somebody calculate for voice signals, how much is alpha here? What would be the alpha, one side separation? See here, 300, 0 to 300, one side separation is alpha, 300 hertz. So 2 alpha is 600 and FC divided by FC should be greater than 0.01. So what should FC be? FC should be less than or equal to how much? 600 divided by 0.01. How much would that be? 600 followed by 2 more zeros. 60K?
That will be 60 kilo. Yeah.
Yeah. So 60 kilohertz. Your carrier frequency which you can use only if it is somewhere around less than or equal to 60K, then you can design a band pass filter which will filter one sideband correctly, eliminating the other sideband. And when I say correctly, I am only taking a factor of 40 dB roll off. This rate of change of gain, what we call as roll off, is 40 decibels per decade when I consider this condition. Okay. So with such a filter, it is possible to filter one given sideband and eliminate the other sideband here when the gap is around 600 hertz if the carrier frequency is less than 60K. Suppose you have a carrier frequency, if FC is more than 60K usually, then what happens? Then proper filtering is not possible. You can't design a correct bandpass filter. Proper filtering may not be possible. Also, you say Also, to design band pass filter, design band pass filter for above condition, this condition I am telling, for the above condition, we need to use specialized, specialized crystal or piezoelectric crystal filters. Let me say crystal filters, also known as surface acoustic wave filters. They are called SAW filters, surface acoustic wave filters. Okay. So if you have to design the band pass filter for this condition, you have to use something known as surface acoustic wave filter, which is specialized filter which uses a piezoelectric crystal. They are basically mechanical filters which make use of piezoelectric crystals. Okay. And the quality factor, do you know what is the meaning of quality factor in a filter? Can somebody tell me what is quality factor in a filter? Yes? What does that quality factor specify? You have studied this FC by bandwidth, where FC represents the center frequency divided by the bandwidth of the filter. So please remember, if you have a band pass filter like this, and that band pass filter has some bandwidth, and the center frequency of the filter is somewhere here. So you divide that center frequency with bandwidth, you will get something known as quality factor of the filter. This quality factor is a very important parameter in the sense that it will decide the trade-off between the center frequency and bandwidth, or let me say the trade-off between how sharp the filter characteristics should be and what should be the design conditions. See, if I want a very sharp filter like this, I want to filter out only one particular frequency. Say this is the noise frequency. I want to filter out only this and eliminate this frequency. I should design a filter like this, having characteristics like this, rather than like this. If you want to filter out a large band of frequency, you should design a band pass filter having this kind of characteristics, right? Whereas if you want to filter out a very small frequency band or a single frequency, you should have a response something like this. So, if this Q factor value is very high, then it would give you this kind of responses. Whenever the Q value, the quality factor is very high, you are going to get a narrow bandwidth or almost which will filter one single frequency if possible. And the range of Q for this is somewhere in the thousands, 1000 to 3000 I can say. The quality factor value in numbers, since both are frequencies, I won't have unit for quality factor. So your center frequency will be very large and bandwidth will be very small. This is very large and this is small. Then you will get large value of Q. Q would be large. So if the Q is large, you will be able to design a filter which can filter out very efficiently small band of frequencies. So for our SSB-SC signal, frequency discrimination method, I have two sidebands which are very closely placed. So if I have a filter response like this, very sharp response, it would be possible for me to filter out one sideband, right? That's why we say we want highly accurate surface acoustic wave or SAW filters to do this job. And I hope you understood what is the meaning of Q factor. The quality factor is a measure of ratio of the center frequency to bandwidth. The narrower the bandwidth, the higher the value of quality factor. In this case, we need filters of quality factor ranging from 1000 to 3000, which is very, very difficult to design and implement. So to design and build such filters, it would be almost very complex and costly also. You would have very costly and complex implementation. Okay, so costly and complex to build such filters. Hence, what we do, therefore, to remove the stringent requirement on filter design, we generally use a two-stage frequency discrimination technique, also known as filtering technique. The other name for frequency discrimination technique, what we just now studied, is filtering technique to generate SSB-SC signal. Okay. So to generate SSB-SC, we normally try to use a two-stage. And you should understand how we are going to design this two-stage and how we will work with it. It is quite simple. All you have to do is, whatever you had in a single stage, one product modulator, one oscillator, AC, cos 2 pi, I'll make this FC1 into T, and this is where we give the message signal. Remember, the message signal should have no components at zero frequency. It should be well separated. This should be the type of message which we are going to give. And output of this is your DSB-SC signal, S1 of T, and this is fed to the first band pass filter, and here I am going to obtain a spectrum something like this. Say whatever separation I had here, this would have increased the separation between the two signals. After doing one stage of filtering with generation of DSB-SC and then filtering, in the second stage, the gap between the two sidebands would have increased. Now, this will act as the message for the second stage. So, here to here, it is one stage of filtering. Now, I'll move on to the second stage of filtering. So, again, product modulator. This is going to act like message. The local oscillator. Okay. Another cosine signal, AC cos 2 pi, FC2 into T, and another band pass filter, BPF2. So this would be the final output signal which you are going to generate. This is another DSB-SC signal which will be available after multiplication. So what you are seeing, we are just repeating the implementation of the first stage again, so that I will remove the complexity in the design of the filter. I can make the filter design little more simple if I do this. And for this, the total FC will be FC1 plus FC2. I'll use this FC1 within the range. Say I'll keep it at 60 kilohertz, for example. I want, just now we calculated and said if the filter design should be possible, the carrier frequency cannot go beyond 60K, right? Using that condition, we use the condition 2 alpha by FC should be greater than or equal to 0.01, means the value of FC should be less than or equal to 60K. So I will take the first filtering local oscillator, the first filter's local oscillator as 16K, and I want the total value, total carrier as 10 megahertz. So what would this FC2 be? How much should I generate for this second oscillator? It is 10 mega minus 60K, right? So you can calculate and see how much that is. 10 mega minus 60K should be the frequency generated for the second filter. The second part of the filtering technique, this is the frequency needed, FC2. Okay, so once that is done, now you can try to analyze and see how much that would be. So 9.94, yeah, this is around 9.94 megahertz. Okay, so if this is done, how can somebody draw the spectrum, how this would look? The spectrum for this, as usual. Okay, this is going from Bombay to Delhi. The spectrum of the message signal is something like this. This is M of F. This is 300. This is 3.4. Let me consider. This is F. And next, the carrier would be somewhere here. So this would, I'll choose. Here I need to choose two carriers. So the first carrier, let me say, would be somewhere here, FC1, 60K for example. And at minus 60K, I would have another impulse, FC1. And the output after the first modulator will be what? I told you, mark this frequency, then just shift the message from this center point. Whatever was the center point of the message here, from this center point 0, you should shift it to FC. You should shift it to the center point FC. So this will be FC plus 300, FC plus 3.4K, if I consider that signal only. And here FC1 minus 300, FC1 minus 3.4K. Now, if I want to, now I'll use a filter. I'm going to use a filter here. That filter removes, say, this sideband. Okay, the filter removes the upper sideband. I'm going to get this signal. Similarly, on the other side also, here you have the mirror image of this created at minus FC, and the filter extracts the upper sideband. So this is the output after what? After first stage of filtering. After first stage of filtering, this is the output. Let me call it as V1 of T. Now this signal acts like the message signal. This acts like message for the what? Second, this acts like message for the second modulator. So here we had, if you remember, one modulator here, FC1. This was your message, and this was the first filter one, band pass filter BPF1. Now this output we called it as V1 of t. It passed to the second product modulator. Here I have the frequency FC2 and I have the second band pass filter 2 to get the final output V0 or V2. Now to this stage V1 of t or V1 of f, here we have plotted frequency, is a well separated message. Can somebody tell me what is the alpha now here? This separation alpha from 0 to this point. Say I have used this carrier frequency as 60 kilohertz. So if this was 60 kilohertz, where would this be now? 60.3, yeah? 60.3 kilohertz, right? This is 60K, this point, plus 300 hertz. 60K plus 300 hertz would be 60.3 kilohertz this side and 60.3 kilohertz the other side. So I have a good separation now compared to the original message. The original message had a separation of only what? 300 hertz on one side, 300 on the other. Whereas this message has a better separation, right? And this signal is input to the second stage. This thing is the second stage of filtering. And to the second stage, we have a well separated message without any zero components till 60 kilohertz. Okay. So what happens at the second stage? Let's continue this waveform. Okay. So I have to clean this out. Okay, this is not working. Okay. So now what is happening? Now this is the input to the second stage. So the second stage input this signal. The second stage carrier frequency is FC2, which is larger than FC1. So I have to use two stages only when I want a larger carrier frequency. A carrier frequency higher than 60K if I want, usually needed in most of the communication systems. So you have to use two stages then. So the second stage signal here at FC2, I am going to have this spectrum. From FC2, what should be the separation? I'll write it like this. FC2 is a large frequency. Okay. So you can indicate a gap in the spectrum when you can't show very large difference. See, this is in kilohertz, whereas this will be in megahertz. This is around at 9.94 meg, right? We calculated FC2 should be around 9.94 meg. If I want total FC as 10 megahertz, it should be FC1 plus FC2, 60K plus 9.94 mega. So this is in terms of megahertz. So naturally there is a large separation between this and this. And now this message signal here, the two parts of the message signal will be shifted on either side. So this value will now shift to this point, FC2. The 0 what is seen in the SSB-ST signal after first stage is now going to shift to the second carrier frequency FC2. So can somebody tell me what would the frequency at this point be? Yes. What would it be?
10 mega.
Yeah. So this would be somewhere at 9.94 mega plus 60.3K. I have 60.3K. So this amount of shift from 9.94 mega. So you will have
10.0003 mega.
Yeah, 10.0003 mega at this point. And at the next point, here, what would this point be at? What is the frequency here? This was 3.4K from 0, whereas here it will be 63.4K, right? See, from here to here, there is a difference of 3100 hertz. This end would, in the basic message, you remember, 300 to 3.4. So here, from 60 plus 300, this point, this was 60, say, 60 plus 300 hertz is 60.3K, 60 plus 3.4K is 63.4K. So this would be how much? 10.0034. 10.0034 mega, right?
Ma'am, it must be 63.7K.
Why 63.7?
Till the first point, the distance is 60.3. I mean, it's 60.3. From there, we have to add 3.4K. So it will be
No,
60.
no. From 60, you should add 3.4K, not from 60.3. See, from 60 is this point. If you look at this graph, I told you it will shift to the carrier frequency. Can you see here? This is 60K. So what was at 0 has shifted to 60K. So from 60K, I should add 300 to 800. So this would be the new frequency. Similarly, on this side, if you want to calculate, this point, where would it be? This point would be at, this point would be at 10 meg minus 60.3K, and this point would be at 10 meg minus 63.4K. You can compute that and put it here. Many of you are clever enough, instead of calculating, you just written this plus minus and left it off. But don't do that in the exam. That shows you have understood the concept, but they expect you to calculate and give the answers. Okay. So similarly, on the left hand side also, I will have, if I want to show the spectrum on the left hand side, I should also consider same thing. This is minus FC2. Okay. So this point is minus FC2. So I have one here and one to this left. I can't show it fully. Now, what I want you to calculate is how much is alpha or 2 alpha here. Directly you find out what is 2 alpha now. What is the separation now between the two sidebands? This is again a DSB-SE signal of second stage. See, your FC2 is 9.94. Can you tell? Yes, you are right, Lakshmikant. This should be how much? 60.3 plus 60.3. It will be 120.6 kilohertz. You have got a very good separation between the two side bands of 120.6 kilohertz, right? So each side there is a shift of 60.3. This side 60.3, this side. So totally you have 120.6 kilohertz. If you divide this with the carrier frequency, say the carrier frequency which I want is or which I am using 9.94 meg or even 10 meg you can put approximately. Check out, this value should be greater than or equal to 0.01. I think you should be getting that. This is 120.6 K and this is 10 meg. Approximately if I write 10 meg, you will get how much? 12.06 milli, 0.120. How much is it? If you calculate 0.012. Okay, approximately it should give you, it should be equal to or greater than this, and you are getting that condition satisfied for the high carrier frequency of 10 mega, 9.94 or 10 mega. For such a high carrier frequency also, this condition is satisfied, which means looking at this itself you can tell me easily. So looking at this diagram only, you can easily see that. Won't it be easy for me to design a filter here? See, I have a wide gap between the two side bands. I can use all this space and design the filter like this. I can design the band pass filter efficiently like this. Okay, using all this space of 120.6 kilohertz between the two side bands. So design of the filter becomes simple and much more easier as compared to the previous method. Therefore, the final SSB output, let me call it SU of F, having upper sideband, it will take out the upper sideband of this signal. Wherever this upper sideband is, same thing, from this point to this point. And similarly on the other side also. Okay, other side also, the upper sideband will be retained like this, from here to here, wherever you have. So this gives the single sideband suppressed carrier signal, and we have made the filter design also possible or efficient by using two stages, by increasing the gap or separation between the two side bands after one stage. So we can work with high carrier frequencies also here. Okay, so you just write you say hence with a two-stage filter, with a two-stage filtering technique, we are able to get a proper SSB signal, proper SSB signal using a non-ideal bandpass filter, a non-ideal bandpass filter with almost normal requirements that satisfy what? 2 alpha by Fc greater than or equal to 0.01 and Fc also can be higher up to megahertz. I can get a high Fc also, I can get a proper filter also. Everything is possible with 2 stages. Okay. Any doubts with this? Any of you have any doubts with this? Okay, if not, we'll just do one problem with this and stop. Just take down the problem. It's regarding the same thing. I can't write the full problem here. I'll just dictate. Please write down the problem. Consider a two-stage SSB modulator to which a voice input signal is given, which ranges from 0.3K to 3.4 kilohertz. It ranges from 0.3K to 3.4 kilohertz. Okay. The two oscillator frequencies are FC1 is 100 kilohertz and FC2 is 10 megahertz. FC1 is 100 kilohertz and FC2 is 10 megahertz. Specify the following. First one, sidebands of DSB-SC modulated wave. At the outputs of both product modulators. Or multipliers. Second, sidebands of SSB-SC modulated waves at the output of both bandpass filters. Third one, the pass bands and guard bands of the filters. The pass bands and guard bands of the filters used. Okay. So this is exactly the same problem which we discussed just before. I want you to draw the waveforms. It's very important that you draw the waveforms correctly here. Okay. So here Okay. So consider, let me draw M of f. This is your first message, M of f 0.3k, 3.4k. This is your f. Then we'll directly do DSB-SC stage 1. So that is at carrier frequency 100k. You can show a separation here. From 100k, this 0 now shifts to 100k. So I'll have this spectrum like this. Can you name these points? This would be 100.3k, 300 hertz, right? And this point would be 103.4 kilohertz. Okay, corresponding to this. 100 plus 0.3 is 100.3, 100 plus 3.4 is 103.4. And here on this side, 100 minus 0.3, this would be 99.7, and this point would be 100 minus 3.4, that means 96.6k. Just verify. Similarly, on the other side also, you can draw, you need not write the frequencies here. If you write the frequencies on positive side, it is more than sufficient. Okay? Okay, so this is the first stage. This is stage 1 DSB-SC. Now, I need to represent stage 2. Stage 2, I'll show a gap because I can't show it very far. I'll take it here. Stage 2, what is the FC2 value? 10 mega. What all are doing? Please speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it's 10 minutes.
It's 10 mega. Then I have to shift. Okay, I have to do one more thing here. I have to draw the SSB-SC. After filtering, let me say the upper sideband remains. You can retain lower sideband also. Anything is your choice. Upper sideband will range from 100.3 to 103.4. This is SU of F stage 1. Again here the upper sideband remains. Okay. And now this acts like message to the second stage. So the second stage DSB-SC signal of second stage with 10 mega as the point, I should have this at 10 mega plus 100.3k. How much is that going to be?
10.1003.
10.1003 mega, correct? And this should then be 10.1034 mega. Okay? See, because here from 10 meg I should add 100.3 this distance. I'll get this first point. From 10 meg, this was at 0, that 0 is shifted to 10 meg now. So from 0 it was at a distance of 103.4. Now it will be from 10 meg at a distance of 103.4. So that will turn out to be 10.1034 mega. And can you tell me on the negative side? 10 meg minus 100.3 k, and this is 10 meg minus 103.4 k. Whatever you have on this side, you just have to subtract this value from the new frequency, this value from the new one. How much are you getting?
9.8997 mega.
Okay. 9.8997. And this one?
9.8966 mega.
8966 mega. Okay, 100 mega minus 103.4 K will be 9.8966 mega, and 10 meg minus 100.3 K will be 9.8997 mega. So this is the spectrum of stage 2 after the product modulator or stage 2 DSB-SC signal. Now we'll come to the last waveform, that is what? Stage 2 SSB-SC. Let's retain the upper sideband, so this remains, and here also if you want you could have drawn two-sided spectrum, and here the upper sideband remains. And this is 10 meg. This we know, these points already we have defined, 10.1003 mega and 10.1034 mega, and likewise here also we can define minus 10.1003 mega, and this point is minus 10.1034 mega. Anyway, there is no space. This is your final stage 2 single sideband suppressed carrier signal. Is that clear? So now please answer all the questions. What are the questions given there? You are supposed to find the sidebands of the DSB-SC modulated wave at the output of both the product modulators. Actually, we have already marked it here. It's already marked here. You can simply, so this is the, what is the range? You can make a table and list it. I suggest you make a table and list all these things. So what are the things you need to list? Here, I am unable to write. Okay, so you can create a table and write all the values. I don't have place. You write the sidebands. So here, stage 1, stage 1, stage 2, DSB-SC first we need, then we need SSB-SC. So sidebands means it ranges. USB ranges from where to where? 100.3 to 103.4. Yes or no? See, here only we have shown 100.3 to 103.4 in stage 1. And LSB ranges, here I haven't given sufficient space. The LSB ranges from 96.6 to 99.7 K in the first stage. So all this is first stage output. Okay. Similarly, stage 2, you look at all this ranges should be mentioned. They are the sidebands. So stage 2, what is it? Can you list out all this at home? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand what is the meaning of pass band and guard band? If somebody knows this clearly, please tell me. The last question, pass band and guard band. How do you define what is the pass band and what is the guard band? For the filters used, we are defining that.
Range of frequencies that can pass through the filter is passband, and that can't is guard band.
Okay, so what should I consider? See, if I, sorry. If I consider the filter like this should be the filter. So if I consider the filter like this, the range from here to here, which should pass this sideband completely. This sideband should be completely passed through 100.3 to 103.4. This would be your pass band. Is that clear? And on the other side, whatever is the, I should look at the guard band, I should look at this separation. The guard band is this range where the filter gain is falling off, rolling off. So from here to here, what is the separation? The guard band is how much? From this point, which is 100.3 minus, or let me say 299.7. See, please observe the frequency at this point is 99.7. The frequency at the beginning of this sideband is 100.3. So this is 100.3 and this is 99.7. So guard band will be 99.7 K to 100.3 kilohertz in the first stage, and pass band will be 100.3 to 103.4. Are you following? So the pass band is the range of frequencies which should pass this sideband. This upper sideband should be passed. So this becomes your pass band. If you draw the frequency response of the filter, you will understand. So you take a dotted line and draw it. This should be your pass band. Wherever your sideband is present, the required sideband, that should be passed. And wherever the roll off happens for the filter, so I have a limited range from the beginning of the other sideband to the beginning of the required sideband. That will give you the guard band. Is that clear? So include this also in the table, and you write for stage 1 as well as stage 2, you should list all this. We have every information in the diagram. See, you can even leave out the negative side. You need not write the negative side. You can simply leave it also. Okay. So rather than write it and complicate, or even if you write, you need not name everything. You draw it only on the positive side and write all the frequencies and everything. It would be easy for you. See, actually this is very, very simple. Nothing complicated is involved here. All you have to do is just try to understand the things correctly and do it. Okay. You are only shifting. In one stage, you'll shift from 0 to the first carrier frequency. You'll surrounding the first carrier frequency, you'll shift. Next, you'll take out one sideband from that. That acts like message for the second stage. And again, you'll shift it to the second carrier frequency surrounding that point. Okay. You'll have the two sidebands surrounding that point. So you have to write all these conditions. This is asked for 8 to 10 marks. This problem was usually asked for 8 to 10 marks. So please go home. Actually, this completes the concept of filtering technique for SSB SC generation. So based on this, next we will, in the next class tomorrow, we will see how to get the time domain equation, and the second method of SSB SC generation we will discuss.